Hey, hey, hey. Why do I sound so freaking excited? Because I am excited, damn it. I'm about to I'm about to go live with this beautiful woman. She's an entrepreneur and she has her own brand. And she's here. I'm introducing you a little bit, Miss Lady. So I went on her page today and I'm just like super impressed about how she built her brand, and her website is finished. I went and looked at her website. She's taking advantage of what's going on right now. She's selling her face mask. So without further ado, let me, and hopefully we can get this thing stabilized. I don't want to be looking like Teddy Riley up here.
Hey.
Oh my God.
Hi.
Look at you.
Hi, beautiful.
You're so freaking pretty.
Thank you. I appreciate that. As you are.
Thank you. I love your hair, your lips.
Thank you. I did it myself.
You did?
Yeah.
I braid hair too. Yours look really, really nice.
Thank you. I tried. It took forever, but you know.
Yes, yes. And what's crazy is you wearing red lip, and I thought about wearing red lip too. I was like, maybe.
I mean, you got time to put some on right quick.
Right, but it didn't match. I got on peach today. So
oh yeah, that's good. Like, I'm gonna try to look like I can.
Right. So how
Let me see. But yeah.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm just trying to stay busy. Gratefully, nothing has changed for me, really. I already kind of worked from home. I was in the field anyway. My day job is healthcare. I work for Medicaid.
Oh, wow.
So I go to the hospital and visit new moms after they give birth. And just tell them about their insurance and see if they have any questions or need program assistance. So I was already kind of at home. I would just go to the hospital and then work the rest of the day from home. So luckily, they pulled us from the hospital. So we're just working from home, and I'm in school as well. So that was online. So
Gotcha.
my life is still much the same.
Right?
Like everybody else has slowed down and stayed in the house with me.
That's so cool. I did not know that about you. I didn't know that you worked in the healthcare industry as well. So not only are you this beautiful entrepreneur, but you are actually on the front lines right now while everything is going on. That's crazy.
Yeah, we kind of get luckily I'm in a position where I don't have to be in the hospital. So I'm blessed for that. So we're just kind of basically handling the paperwork or assisting other teams that are on the front line, still having to, because some people you can't not visit or cannot go to the hospital.
Right. Exactly. So I normally like to keep my questions down to 5 so we can just have like a really dope 30-minute conversation. But after looking at your page, I have like 7.
Okay, that's cool. We got nothing but time.
Hey, that's what I like to hear. So what do you go by? Because your Instagram name is Zykwanza. Am I pronounced it right?
Correct.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, you got it right.
I messed up names, but I got it right.
You'd be surprised. But so I kind of go by a few things. Like Kwanzaa is the name I grew up with. So people from high school probably know me as Kwanzaa. Zai came about in Atlanta. Like high school and college, people called me Kwanzaa. Zai came about because growing up, like my name, of course I was picked on about it, and people never could get it right, especially if they, for some odd reason, even though it's the holiday, if you just put Kwanzaa, some odd reason people couldn't get it right. So I was like, I'm gonna try Zai. Let's just see Zai would work, because I also was working on the phones at the time. So I hated, what was that? What'd you say your name was again? So when I tried Zai, unfortunately it became Vi. They didn't get that either. Z, some people see it and say Z. So I was like, Zykwanza is so either Zykwanza or Zykwanza.
It's beautiful. Either way it goes, I like that Zy. Like,
Thank you.
hey, Zy, how you doing?
Yeah, I
So
thought this
cute.
was different, right?
Yes, it's really different.
Can I tell you a really weird story?
Yes.
So, I actually met another Kwanzaa Williams.
Really?
Yes, and he's from Irvington, New Jersey, like me. And he used to
Oh.
work in the same place that I work now.
Wow.
He lives in Atlanta, and I've met him.
That's like a real big coincidence because
It's
I've never met someone named that before in my life. But here you are with the name and met somebody with your name. That's pretty
So
awesome.
shout out to my mom for putting Zy on there.
Yes.
I think I'm
Yes.
really fun.
So
That's why.
let's get into it. Like, first of all, let me introduce myself. I go by the name of Carmen Bliss. I'm a singer, songwriter, entrepreneur in the area in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I built this show, Bliss Talk, because I like to build and learn, aspire, collaborate, and share keys with people because I think it's so important to learn from other people's experiences. You know how that saying goes, like a smart person learns from their mistakes, but a wise person learns from the mistakes of others. You know what I mean? And
Facts.
so, as much information that we can share with each other, imagine how big we can build this house. And I'm talking about the black house, the black bags.
Look.
Okay.
But
Hey.
yes, I agree. Totally.
Yes. So, a few questions about your business because you have a clothing line, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I do.
You do. I want to know how long you've been doing that.
Okay, so I've really been doing it since about 2013. I just didn't start producing actual items to sell until about 2015, 2016.
Mm.
So I had been playing around with sewing, me and my cousin, and then we started actually making stuff, like wearing our first own items. And then it was like, you know what? I'm gonna
Yeah.
make this a business. Like I really like doing this. It was I remember like it was not yesterday. We both had sewed the entire day. Like we didn't eat or anything, and like we lost track of time. Like we were just having fun. And we looked up
Mhm.
and it was night, and I'm like, that night I remember thinking like, this is something I have to be passionate about. Like how did I lose track of a whole day
Right.
doing this? So
Exactly. So, do you design your own stuff? Do you draw, or what is your manufacturing process like?
okay, so I have inspiration, of course. Typically I try to pull from myself or like something that I see on TV. I'm like fascinated with Japanese culture, streetwear. I like to be comfortable. So I'll think of it, and I'm not the best drawer, but I did practice with like fashion figures. So what I would
Mhm.
do is trace them and
Mhm.
then draw what I want on them. So I can draw the clothes. I would print them out and then put a piece of paper on it and then trace over it. So I'll do that. Most of the time, honestly, though, I work from my head and I just lay the pattern out. And I'll either use like a pair of shorts that I like a lot or find an actual pattern from another seamstress online. There are a lot of groups out there, that you can be a part of, communities. And
Mhm.
then after that, pick out the fabric that I want. I'll cut it, I sew it, I hem it, press it and try it on, sew it again, try
Wow.
it on, sew it again.
Wow.
So, this is a process and that's it.
You you literally manufacture this stuff yourself. So you're sewing, you're cutting, you're drawing it. Wow.
Really a one woman show right now. Like I would love a team, but like I'm just not in the place financially to support a team, and I would never want to bring on a team unless they, I would definitely have to explain that to them first, like, it's not where it's at, but you
That's
know.
something to explore too, because I have some of the same issues because I have a team of 4 right now that I work with. My business is called OLP and it's a nonprofit for local artists. I raise money and resources for the local artists in the area. And
That's
so,
cool.
yeah, so the people that I work with, they all are there voluntarily. And so I've been doing a little bit of I guess research, more like looking at different interviews, picking other people's brains. And you can actually have services like as an intern for people that just want to get some type of experience doing them.
Right.
something in the field, and I think that's something that is going to be very helpful for entrepreneurs like us that are just starting out. And what about your education? Did you study anything at all about fashion?
Um, so no, I didn't. I remember taking like a home ec class in fifth grade, and that stuck with me. My grandmother actually, I have a big blanket. She was a knitter,
Hmm.
so she taught me how to knit, and then I actually still use her sewing machine. That's the only. I need to buy a new one because it's kind of like, it's time for it to go. Either fix it or let it go. Um, but no, to be 100%, what I feel like has grown my expertise in sewing is YouTube. YouTube
Oh,
University.
yeah,
Like anything you want to know in life,
that's
Google
fact.
it or YouTube it. Okay. That'll change
That is
headlights.
fact.
Everything I've made, even the mask that I recently did, I watched several videos to figure out which design I personally liked better, just aesthetically. I'm like, which ones I like that looks the cutest, and then
Mhm.
I went into structure and how effective the mask was. So I got down to 3 videos, used one of their patterns and tweaked it, and then
Right.
produced my own little. I actually make my own
Yes, tell us.
patterns and
Yes.
everything. It's a real deal. So
Hey,
yeah.
that's what's up. Because this was actually going to be my last question that I was going to ask you. But while we're on the subject, a lot of people who they're just starting out with a thought or an idea of what they want to do or pursue, they are under the belief that they don't have what they need. And so I wanted to hear from you what your perspective is on, do you have what you need? And do you think people should have that mindset where you have all that you need? You just got to start somewhere.
I'm glad you asked that because I actually want to ask you this too because I ask people this all the time. That's what held me back a lot of. That's why I like right now is really the time that I'm seeing growth in my business, even though I've been doing it since 2014. Because it's a fear we have, and it's almost because it's like it's your
Yeah.
baby because you're a creative, and we're like Erica Badu said, we're sensitive about our stuff, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like you need to go for it regardless if you have it or you don't have it.
Right.
But I would say, because this is what I've learned, is to plan. I know people say if you want to make God laugh, plan, but in this case, you need to plan and stick to it because that's was my issue. Like I was just jumping the gun,
Yeah.
and yes, be risky, but take caution risk or
Right.
careful risk, not like I've tried it all. Like when I say I done jumped off the bridge, I done dove head first.
Mm-hmm.
It's benefits and it's pros and cons, but
Right.
I feel like you would save yourself a lot of stress, unnecessary stress, if you plan and you execute.
Yeah.
Like,
That's absolutely correct. Like I said, I started Outlaw Productions about 5 years ago. And when I started it, it was just a young girl thinking that she can have this whole business, this whole like
I get you.
organization or whatever. It was a really,
Yeah.
really big dream. And people would even ask me like, so who's gonna help you with that? Because that don't that don't sound like it's easy at all.
You will get that too, the naysayers.
And so what I did was I actually went back to school. I went back to college. I went back to school, and I'm actually currently studying business because when I got into it, when I started it, I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know what is what. I need to know like how to do this. And so I was like, I need to get some education about myself.
Yes.
And so I started studying business, and then I just started talking to people, rubbing elbows with people that actually have started their own businesses and things of that nature, and getting information on how I can certify. So, 5 years later, I'm a certified organization incorporated with the Secretary of State. And so I'm building from there, and who knows what's going to happen in the next coming years. But I thought it was a really good question to ask you as an entrepreneur, like, do you have all you need? And when you're first starting out, yes, you do.
Yes, you do. You have the talent, whatever it is you want to do, the thought is all you need.
Yeah,
Your hands are just the help to your
right,
thoughts. That's it.
exactly. So my
Like,
next question for you is, would you partner with somebody, and who would it be that you would partner with?
as in like a collaboration or to partner
Yeah,
the entire business?
yeah,
A
collaboration.
collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I probably would partner with my cousin, to be honest, because she's who I started it with. We both, so she and we're actually like almost two different ends of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
She makes dance wear, swimwear, really sexy pieces, and I make like the laid back, unisex, casual type of things. And we
Mm-hmm.
literally just talked about this maybe like 2 weeks ago. About how I was like, in our 10-year mark, we need to do a fashion show,
Yeah,
just for us because
yeah,
we have the same grandmother, so you know, it's
yeah.
just like yeah, that's somebody I would definitely partner with.
When
I
I
would go
was
explore.
looking at your page today, I was like, yo, it would be so dope if she partnered with someone. You know how, like, if you look in the celebrity world, you know how, like, Nicki Minaj would partner with Fendi or something like that.
Yeah.
Or, have
Oh, you mean like
someone,
big?
like, yeah, if you want to go
If
big or
I
go
could do
home.
literally anybody, if I called them tomorrow, it would be Chanel. Because I don't own any Chanel. I'm gonna be 100. But I am just like you said. That's why I said when you said I'm in business, I'm like that's literally the same reason why I went back to school. My job was gonna pay for it, and I was
Mhm.
like, why not learn about business where we aren't taught that growing up,
Right,
So
exactly.
I want to learn it, and so that I don't continue to make the mistakes. Like if you continue to make the mistakes, you're not gonna grow.
Right.
Um, so yeah, like I'm in school for that, and I like totally lost my train of thought about that.
You say you want to partner with Chanel,
Oh,
and
but yeah, so that was one of my projects. Thank you.
yeah.
That was one of my projects was her, and I've learned stuff about her. Like I always liked her stuff. Of course,
Mhm.
like her perfumes and her clothes and her glasses and the little cute stuff, her trinkets. But her story is another
Mhm.
level, and like how she was as an entrepreneur and a businesswoman, it inspired me beyond it. Even though she's not alive, I would still partner with them because I just love their fashion sense.
Absolutely. I can see that. I can see you partnering with them.
I would
Let's
bring a
go
little
get it.
street to Chanel. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I know y'all classy, ratchet, bougie, savage.
I'm dope.
I'm
But
so
me too. I like to have fun. I love to have fun.
okay.
Yes. But I'm gonna save this interview because
Oh, please send it to me.
yes, I'm gonna send it to you, and we gonna look back at this. She said she wanted to do Chanel.
Please manifest that. Okay.
Hey,
Let's get it. You already
yes,
got your corporation. Let's go. So, can I ask you what's your goals with your corporation? Because I know you just said you have your LLC. Did I hear that correctly? Or
yes.
is it an LLC for you as well?
It's
For a nonprofit?
incorporated as a nonprofit.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. So, my next goals, I actually partner with the Artist Block, which is actually a very popular business for artists in the community right now. And so I've been really trying to think about my bigger picture too, because since I'm in partnership with this organization, I want to see how I can fit my ideas with this other corporation. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And I'm trying to see like how I can continue my partnership with them as well. But the bigger picture is to invest in local artists, period. Being a singer songwriter myself, there was a lot of things that I had to come out of pocket for. I used to spend, when I was younger, like I used to spend my whole Hardy's check uh, buying music equipment,
Right.
studio time,
Oh, so
all
you
that
was
stuff.
already with it at a young
Yeah.
age. You was ready.
Yeah, but I was like, it's got to be. This can't be life. I don't have any money. I
Right.
don't
Yeah.
have
It
any,
is hard to get
yeah.
that. It's not
So
cheap.
my
It's not
bright idea
a
was,
dream.
yeah, my bright idea was to raise money for local artists so they don't have to have the same, growing pains that I did coming up, in the community, doing this music thing. But yeah, the bigger picture is to grow my team, grow my resources, and I take the people that feature for me at the open mics. I take them on a trip every year, just to get them outside of Greensboro. It's a different experience when you're performing in a different area. So last year we went to DC last year. The year before that, we went to Atlanta. This year, we were going to go try to find some performance opportunities in Virginia, but the COVID or whatever. But I would love to do more trips throughout the year. Right now, we're only doing one trip a year, but as we grow our resources, I can take these kids wherever I want to. You know what I mean? So,
Yes, I think that is so beautiful, and I think that ties along with that last question you asked me. Like, people feel like if they, because that's where I was at too. Like, I don't have the money for this. Like, I can't get a business loan right now. What am I supposed to do? Whatever you can do, just like I feel like
yeah.
that's key. Just start, having somebody like you or an organization that's gonna encourage them to continue is important because art is dying and it doesn't need to die.
Mhm.
Right?
Absolutely. It doesn't. And, the local artists in this community, they work so freaking hard for nothing. For nothing. You know,
Profit margin
Getting
on
invited
zero.
to do a show
Okay.
and they're trying to give you, so y'all got any compensation plans? Why, yes, you can have one drink from the bar.
Exactly.
I'm just like,
Have a good night.
oh,
Have a good
right.
night.
But so let's see what else I have for you. I want to know what has been your most sold item?
My most sold item today would be the mask, to be honest. I sold out on that website in under 24 hours. Like, I felt like, now I know my quantity wasn't like what somebody has like 100,000, but
Mhm.
I made over 200 and they sold out. So in
Wow.
24 hours. So that was a blessing. I was not expecting that.
Yes.
Yeah, you learn a lot too. Like, it's like a blessing. It's like a blessing and a lesson every
Mhm.
time. It's like, next time what to do and how to do it faster, and like. But I'm glad everybody was satisfied, and
Yeah.
like it went well. It went really smoother than I thought. Like, I was not expecting that.
That's the key right there in itself. You got to seize the opportunity. You are into fashion right now, and when you combine fashion with what's going on right now, you get them cute masks that you sell, and look at it, it's sold out.
I
Super
have to send you
quick.
one. Please send me your
Yes,
Please send me
I
your
love
address.
that.
Like, DM it to me. And
Yes,
I'll
I,
send
I definitely will, and I'll rock it. Too. I might put it on before the Bliss Talk.
you.
Just grab it.
Let me tell you something I learned. Do not put it on with lipstick on.
Yeah, girl, in the makeup. Like I had got mask or whatever, but thank God the back side of it is black or whatever, so I can just wash it, but the front side of it is white. So don't ask me how I'm gonna wash it. I'm gonna wash it in cold water, I guess. So it doesn't bleed through.
That's why I try to shy away from white with all my fabric choices because I'm like, white is gonna get dirty fast. It's
Yeah.
gonna be hard to wash. Probably.
Hmm.
So yeah, I tried to take that in consideration. But definitely the mask, and before that, it was this plaid hoodie. I actually archived a lot of my stuff that I've created. I want to bring it back, but that's part of my plan is to brand. Like, I feel like branding is essential. So
Right.
that's why a lot of it's like hidden right now.
Who helped you build your website?
Nobody. I did mine by myself. I literally do. Like, I know people say that and they don't, but I literally do everything. I think the only thing I haven't done is my logo.
Okay, so the logo thing, that's a hard one because you don't want your logo to be this over dramatic thing. Most of the brands that you're used to or you familiarize yourself with and that you trust are like simple logos. Like Apple is literally a bitten apple, you know. The Nike is just a check or whatever.
Chanel was what?
Yeah,
That was a tactic of hers too, to have the black on white, and like I want to bolden my logo a little more. But with all this going on, it's hard for me to like find, like, to, get it done.
Yeah.
But I'm just flipping what she did. Like, she has black on white, I'm doing white on black.
Gotcha.
So, like, because that pops to the eye at all times.
It does.
Definitely black on white, but I like the way white looks on black.
Yeah. So what's the next step with your business? Where we going?
Just continue brand, like really enforcing my brand, like packaging. I want when you buy something from me to be like an experience, like even to the website. And really, it's all about funding right now. Like, once the funding comes in, like everything I make, I put back into the business. So once it gets to where I want it to get to, then like we there, like packaging, going on the website. Like, I have so many ideas for it to be an experience, especially when you receive it, when you wear it, engaging. I definitely want to get some ambassadors going, just the market. Because that's something I lack that, because I shy away from being the, what is it called, the face of my image, my brand, even though it is my name. I'm not a spotlight type of person.
Right.
So I have to get over that, because in a sense, if nobody knows who you are, nobody's going to trust your brand enough to buy it.
Yeah, absolutely. Personalizing is always good. When people know know your story, they can back it. That's why interviews like this is really good. Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Okay. But yeah.
Sorry.
I can see you going big places. Keep on that grind. You're doing everything by yourself right now. But homie, if you need somebody to talk to or what idea, I'm right
I have
here.
friends, like, they're definitely willing to help. So I need to, sometimes it's me, like, I'm a low-key control freak. So it's like, I'm going to have to learn to trust people enough to help me with my vision too. Do you ever have that problem?
I do.
Before you got a team?
I definitely do. It's with me and my team, I try to respect everybody's opinion or idea that they bring to the table, because you're just so grateful for them being involved with it, So you try to let them have a voice as much as you can. But yeah, it is that 22 sometimes, I'm not going to lie to you. But I don't think that's something that you can necessarily avoid when you're trying to build a business, because you got to work with people.
You got to. And you have to, like, trust other people to, you know what I'm saying? Like, just trust. Trust in general, like doing business, that kind of scares me sometimes. Doing business, I have been burned in the past trying to partner with people before, so it's innocence in that. So I definitely probably would. I love the intern idea. You're not the first person to pitch that to me. So me hearing you say it is, I always take it as a sign. Like, I didn't initially want to make masks. I didn't want nobody to feel like I was exploiting the situation, when really I actually made a hoodie 4 years ago that has a mask in it. But yeah, I heard it from 4 different people, and the 4th person, I'm like, this is like God's calling, and I'm like not answering the phone.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, I think anybody, because that's education right there. If they can watch you do it, see your process, like, they can learn so much by doing that. And then, are you LLC?
Yes, just recently, like Good Friday. Yeah,
So,
after all these years in North Carolina, never had an LLC. This is
yes. So you're an LLC and everything. They can throw that up there on their resume. I work side by side by an LLC. They sold out of such and such product on their website.
That's so
such
true.
and such time. You got
I need to go to the fashion school, and there's fashion schools all around here.
Right.
I need definitely to get to that.
Yes. Well, this has been such a dope conversation. We got to stay in touch. I love talking and building with people like-minded who are about grinding, who are about, starting from scratch and just working on that thing until, you're the next Bill Gates. I just might be a Bill Gates.
You never know. And you never know, you might find your team or somebody you can collaborate with in the future. Like, So
Right.
definitely send me your address
Yes,
and your number, and then we can just keep in touch that way.
let's do it. So as we close this thing out, anybody that's in the chat right now can ask us, either one of us, a question. But while they're typing, go ahead and give them your social media information, how they can find you, and what you got going on.
So my name is Zykwanza. I am a seamstress designer. I currently have a website. It's Zykwanza. That is on every social platform that you can think of except for Facebook.
Hey,
And I made this too, so this is probably
you
going to come
did.
soon. It's going to be unisex, so
That's so cute. I
thank you.
like that has a floor print on it or whatever, and I always get compliments on it. So you did right by choosing that print, girl.
Really? Because I ask so many people. I'm asking guys. I text messages. I'm like, would you wear this print? Would you wear this print? Like, I really want to find a good balance.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm working on it. I'm gonna definitely use the platform I've gotten from the mass to just continue to build.
Very true. Well, I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on
Thank
everything.
you.
Keep working hard, and I will be inboxing you some information.
Okay.
And let's close this thing out. I don't see any questions in here. So 5, 4, 3,
Nice meeting you.
2, 1. Nice
Peace and
meeting
blessings.
you.
Bye.
Bye.